Chapter 50. Jason. A wolf launched itself at Jason. He stepped back and swung his scrap wood into the beast's snout with a satisfying crack. Maybe only silver could kill it, but a good old-fashioned board could still give it a Tylenol headache. He turned towards the sound of hooves and saw a storm spirit horse bearing down on him. Jason concentrated and summoned the wind. Just before the spirit could trample him, Jason launched himself into the air, grabbed the horse's smoky neck, and pirouetted onto its back. The storm spirit reared. It tried to shake Jason, then tried to dissolve into mist and lose him, but somehow Jason stayed on. He willed the horse to remain in solid form, and the horse seemed unable to refuse. Jason could feel it fighting against him. He could sense its raging thoughts, complete chaos straining to break free. It took all of Jason's willpower to impose his own wishes and bring the horse under control. He thought about Aeolus, overseeing thousands and thousands of spirits like this, some much worse. No wonder the Master of the Winds had gone a little mad after centuries of that pressure. But Jason only had one spirit to master, and he had to win. "You're mine now," Jason said. The horse bucked, but Jason held fast. Its mane flickered as it circled around the empty pool, its hooves causing miniature thunderstorms, tempests, wherever they touched. "Tempest," Jason said. "Is that your name?" The horse spirit shook its mane, evidently pleased to be recognized. "Fine," Jason said. "Now let's fight." He charged into battle, swinging his icy piece of wood, knocking aside wolves and plunging straight through the other Venti. Tempest was a strong spirit, and every time he plowed through one of his brethren, he discharged so much electricity, the other spirit vaporized into a harmless cloud of mist. Through the chaos, Jason caught glimpses of his friends. Piper was surrounded by Earthborn, but she seemed to be holding her own. She looked so impressive as she fought, almost glowing with beauty, that the Earthborn stared at her in awe, forgetting that they were supposed to kill her. They'd lowered their clubs and watched dumbfounded as she smiled and charged them. They'd smile back until she sliced a part of them with their dagger. Then they melted into mountains of mud. Leo had taken on Keone herself. While fighting a goddess should have been suicide, Leo was the right man for the job. She kept summoning ice daggers to throw at him, blasts of winter air, tornadoes, and snow. Leo burned through all of this. His whole body flickered with red tongues of flame like he'd been doused with gasoline. He advanced on the goddess, using two silver-tip ball-peen hammers to smash any monster that got in his way. Jason realized that Leo was the only reason they were still alive. His fiery aura was heating up the whole courtyard, countering Keone's winter magic. Without him, they would have been frozen like the hunters long ago. Wherever Leo went, ice melted off the stones. Even Thalia started to defrost a little while Leo stepped near her. Keone slowly backed away. Her expression went from enraged to shocked to slightly panicked as Leo got closer. Jason was running out of enemies. The wolves lay in dazed heaps. Some slunk away into the ruins, yelping and licking their wounds. Piper stabbed at the last Earthborn, who toppled to the ground in a pile of sludge. Jason rode Tempest through the last Ventis, breaking it into vapor. Then he wheeled around and saw Leo bearing down on the goddess of snow. "You're too late," Keone snarled. "He's awake! And don't think you've won anything here, demigods! Hera's plan will never work! You'll be at each other's throats before you can ever stop us!" Leo set his hammers ablaze and threw them at the goddess, but she turned into snow, a white powdery image of herself. Leo's hammers slammed into the snow woman, breaking it into a steam mound of mush. Piper was breathing hard, but she smiled up at Jason. "Nice horse." Tempest reared on his hind legs, arcing electricity across his hooves, a complete show-off. Then Jason heard a crackling sound behind him. The melting ice on Hera's cage slothed off in a curtain of slush, and the goddess yelled, "Oh, don't mind me, just the Queen of the Heavens dying over here." Jason dismounted and told Tempest to stay put. The three demigods jumped into the pool and ran to the spire. Leo frowned. Tia Calidia, are you getting shorter?" "No, you dolts! The earth is claiming me! Hurry!" As much as Jason disliked Hera, he saw inside the cage and was alarmed. Not only was Hera sinking, the ground was rising around her like water in a tank. Liquid rock had already covered her shins. "The giant wakes!" Hera warned. "You have only seconds." "On it," Leo said. "Piper, I need your help. Talk to the cage." "What?" she said. "Talk to it. Use everything you got. Convince Gaia to sleep. Lull her into a daze. Just slow her down. Try to get the tendrils to loosen up while I—" "Right!" Piper cleared her throat and said, "Hey, Gaia, nice night, huh? Boy, I'm tired. How about you? Ready for some sleep?